Hello friends! Today we're going to do something a little bit different. We always show you the outside and the garden. Every year at the holidays we share everything with you, but we've never taken you inside. And today we thought it'd be fun to do that. Let's go! So one thing a lot of people don't know is that our house is actually pretty small. Our garden, we always say, is a small garden, but for the gardens around us, we actually think it's pretty big, but our house itself is only about 1,400 square feet. And honestly, we feel like we've made the most of it these last few years, but at first it was pretty hard to get used to what our design style was and how we could decorate it for the holidays and how we could invite our friends and our family in every year. And what we have now, about 6 years later almost, is a space that we truly love and that we feel is so warm and so inviting. And of course, like everyone else, there's things that we'll tweak and things that we wish were a little bit different, but this is our first home together. Tyler and I love it so much, and we're just so happy with it. So we thought we'd invite you in and show you the space and show you our holiday decorations. So this area here is actually our living room, and what you can't see right now is that our living room, obviously you come right through the front door into our living space, the space that we lounge and that we watch TV in. And honestly, every night this is like the heartbeat of our house. We just eat here, we watch TV here, we laugh here, and this is just the space that sort of is who we are. We live a lot in the kitchen and obviously, you know, the dining room, but the living room is really the heartbeat of our home. And so every year we try to make it feel like the holidays and feel super special. So one of the things that we kind of coped with whenever we moved into this home was the idea that it didn't have a fireplace or honestly a mantle to hang our stockings. I know, as many of you probably, stockings are so important to us, and there's something that both of our families made a big deal about. When we were little, it was so special running in every morning to the living room, seeing what was in our stocking and what Santa had brought us. And now that's something that's super special to us. So when we first started dating and we first got together, we bought stockings, and of course we put our name on them. And every year we surprise each other with our stockings. And it's so funny, the night before Christmas, we'll sort of like trade places with who's going to fill up stockings first, and we'll hide them until the morning and put them out last second. And it's so special to us. But one of the things about not having a fireplace or a mantle is that you kind of have to figure out where you're going to put those and where you're going to hang them for the season, because they are such an integral part of the holidays to us. And so we found this space here right when you walk in the front door. This is normally our coat rack. So we put these hooks on the wall early on, just so that we had something, some space here that was functional, that could hold our bags and our coats in the winter. And for the holidays, we actually decided that this was the perfect spot to put our stockings. So you can see we have these stockings. We got these a few years ago, and we feel like they really match our style well. And they just fit in so perfectly with the paint colors in here, and we're very like aesthetic. We want everything to match. I'm sure that'll change as time goes on, and we build our family and we have kids and things get louder and more nostalgic. But for now, we really love these, and we figured that this was the perfect spot for them because they can be in the space and they can feel like they're connected to everything, but they don't necessarily have to be on a mantle. You can put things like this somewhere else if you want to. It's also so funny because our main Christmas tree is actually not in our living room itself. So our living room is so small that we can't put a normal sized Christmas tree in it. So we have this space here that until last year, it used to just sort of be a pass-through room that we turned into our cocktail lounge, and we painted it and we made it something that is truly special to us. But around the holidays, this is the only room that will really carry our full-size Christmas tree, and we wanted to make sure we still had that. It's so funny. Every year we add to our holiday decor. And I feel like we really started with getting a real Christmas tree in the beginning. We used to go cut one down every year. And so we had to have a space that was large enough to hold a full-size Christmas tree. And we just decided, because this was on the front of the house and this room at the time was not very well utilized, that we could take whatever furniture was in there every year out and replace it with our Christmas tree and sort of dedicate this room to the Christmas tree. So I can't wait to show you the tree. So this is our main Christmas tree, and I just love it so much. We got this Christmas tree a few years ago after our sort of tradition of going to the mountains and cutting a tree down ended. And we got this tree. It was not flocked at the time. We picked it out. It actually is a faux tree that changes colors, so you can have it white or you can have it multicolored. I don't love the color of the multicolor. They're sort of that new LED where the blues and the greens are really, really bright. And I sort of like that vintage multicolor look like we did on the outside of the house. So we keep it white, but when we first got it, we decided to flock it. And that's actually something that I used to do with all of our Christmas trees. Even the real ones that we would get them home and put them in their stand outside. And then I would spray them down with water. And then I would get this flocking dust every year that had what they call opalescence inside of it, little sort of shimmery glitter pieces. And I would flock the entire tree so that it looked like it had snowed. And the reason I did that is because I really liked a flocked Christmas tree, but obviously that's not something that you could get with a real tree. And so I would do that every single year. And so when we got this one, we got it and I thought, oh, I'm just so used to having a flocked Christmas tree in this space that I flocked this one. And I really like that we did that because a lot of the faux flocked Christmas trees kind of look like they're done it in a way that wouldn't naturally happen. And so when you're doing it yourself, you get to kind of control where the powder goes and control how it looks and how it sits on the branches. And now it kind of just looks like it lightly snowed on it. Every year we put it away, and of course a lot of that powder and dust falls off of it. But this year when we got it out, I sort of misted water on it again to get all of that powder sort of back to its main stickiness, and then it dried off and it's all fluffy and perfect and sticking to the limbs again. I'm sure in the next few years I'll have to flock it again just to bring it back to life, but honestly it's done really, really well, surprisingly, and it's not something that we have to redo every year. But the design of this tree is really, this is our formal tree. Oh, our new clock is dinging. So the overall design of this tree is so formal. I have almost all glass ornaments on here. Most of them are green or white or silver. And we really liked that theme in this space, and it's something that we followed over the past few years. We continue to collect icicles, which are one of my favorite things on a Christmas tree. You can see here we have a huge icicle that is honestly about 2 feet long, and when we saw those, of course, it was like, oh my gosh, that's so over the top. We have to have that for the Christmas tree. But then we have much smaller icicles that are glass. Some of them are this sort of metal look, and we really, really just love how icicles sort of drape down a tree to make it look super dramatic. And obviously, like, there could be ice on it, but really the idea here is just that we put the tree up, and then everything that we fill it up with sort of makes it sparkle and makes it beautiful. So this actually, maybe last year or the year before, we had seen this sort of style of putting ribbon on a tree, and we really loved it because we thought it was sort of abstract. And so we got this beautiful ribbon. I think this is from D. Stevens, and it says Merry Christmas on it, but we put it on there in this way, and we really loved it. We've done this for about 3 years now, just because it's the idea of having ribbon on the tree, but it really gives it its moment, and it's actually a little less work than sort of tucking it in all over the tree. And so we really like that. And then we, of course, have our little clip-ons around the tree that are candles. We have large ornaments and we have smaller ornaments. We've started a collection of kugels lately that is really fun. And so this tree just means so much to us. I believe 2 years ago, we got the topper for this tree at Neiman Marcus, and it really looks like something that came from a Christmas market in Germany. It's hand-blown glass, and it's just the most beautiful star shape that I think I could have ever wanted for our Christmas tree. And then every year we sort of surround that with all sorts of picks that have beads on them, and things that will just sort of emphasize the top of the Christmas tree and surround that star the way that we think it should be. And really just the rest of the tree it just fills up really fast every year. You'd be so surprised. We continue to collect ornaments every single year. You can see we have these mercury glass ones that are super beautiful, but in all of the collecting that we do, it's so funny because I think, oh, we'll find a place on the tree. And every single year, I just pile in as many ornaments as I possibly can. And every single year, I have a few ornaments left over that I couldn't fit on the tree. So anyway, this is just such a beautiful tree, and it's so special to us. Every year we pack it full, and I don't think I would want to do it any other way. Okay, so back in the living room, we have this space that, like I said, we use so much, and that's sort of central to the way that we use our home and that we live here. And we wanted to make sure that we could include Christmas in this space too. Obviously, it's sort of connected to the cocktail lounge and to the space that we can see our main Christmas tree. But of course, to us, more is more, and we love Christmas so much that we wanted to sort of include it within this space too. So we got a slim tree for this space, and that fits in actually so perfectly. And then we have our garland here on our TV console, and this is just sort of another way that we're proving that if you don't have a fireplace or you don't sort of have a home with all of those different things in it at this time, that you can still fill it with Christmas. And I feel like I take this challenge on every year and feel like, how else can I just like put more Christmas in the space? So the TV console actually holds the garland super well. And in the video of me decorating it, you could see I attach this garland every year to the console with these really, really smart little 3M hooks. You just put the hook right onto the marble, in this case, to the surface, and then it actually has a loop that loops off and then just loops right back on so that it holds everything in place. And it works so well. So this garland is actually 3 different garlands all in one, and we did that because we really love the look of a garland that looks very natural, like something that you might find in nature. Here, if we collect greenery to make our own garland, it just won't last throughout the season, and so a faux garland works better, but we could still have the best of both worlds and layer those colors and textures together. And then on the end here, we just capped it with a teardrop garland. That way we sort of have this abstract shape, and we can have the drama of this really draping down to the ground and having all of our picks and everything just go right down to the floor. Of course, we have our beautiful woodlands theme here, and we have beautiful butterflies and bugs that have like emeralds and just stones that are so beautiful. And we found these last year and just thought those are so perfect. They really go with the idea that we're gardeners. Of course, we love nature and the outdoors, but they're also colorful. And they really fit sort of this elevated, glittery holiday approach that we always have. I love things that glitter, of course, and I love shiny things. And so we sort of carry that through every space that we're decorating for Christmas. The butterflies are way over the top. They are studded and just so beautiful. And so we included those all the way down the garland itself, and then onto this beautiful Christmas tree at the end. So this Christmas tree is actually from one of our favorite places of terrain, and we really fell in love the first time that we saw this, I believe on a YouTube video the first time. And it just looks so natural and like something that you might see in like the Alps. And it's also flocked, which you guys know we love, but it looks very, very natural still. And it's really slim and just fits this space so perfectly. And really carrying that woodlands vibe up it really worked this year. So on the tree itself, we have beautiful candles that are battery powered, and they also have a remote. they have this beautiful pulsing light that at night when this room is dark, it's just lit up in the most beautiful way. And I think that that's one of the really special parts about the holidays is sort of the cozy feel that all of your spaces have with all of this extra light and all of this extra beauty that you don't have year round. So we really love the way that those candles light up the room. We added star ornaments on this tree that are mirrored, and we have lots of pine cones. We added bells to the tree and brass ginkgo leaves. There are beautiful glass mushrooms that are just sort of clipped right onto the tree. And then, of course, we have a clip-on bird that's beautiful right at the top. And then this gorgeous brass topper that we really felt fit with this theme so beautifully. We keep saying that this is a Yule tree because we found out after the fact, we were like, it kind of looks like something. And so it kind of looks like Yule, like very naturalistic and very, there's lots of brown and earth tones on it. And we just really love the way that this garland and the tree sort of light up the living room. I do feel like next year we might sort of try to flock the garland because, of course, this is the first year that we have put the flocked terrain tree in this space. We usually put it in our dining room. And so when it's sitting right next to the garland, I'm like, should it be flocked? So you guys will have to let us know in the comments if we should flock the garland next year so it sort of matches the tree. So on to the kitchen. All right, so here we are in our kitchen, and like many of you, I'm sure, the kitchen is really the center of our home. This space is directly connected to our living room, and honestly, our house is pretty small. So this, fun fact, used to be a screened-in porch, and so the previous owners who flipped this house and really brought it to life decided that they really wanted to maximize the living space for this home. So they blew out a wall, actually right where I'm standing, and pushed out into the screen porch. And I'm so glad that they made this space the kitchen because this is really the spot and the reason that when Tyler and I first looked at this home and we walked through, that we were just blown away and fell in love. And this is the kind of kitchen I think I've always dreamed of, but it's like packed into this really small space. And I think that, you know, the vaulted ceilings, of course, help with that. And the skylights, natural light in any kitchen is really a game changer and was a dream of mine. And I just wasn't sure if I could actually have that in our first home. And I'm so glad that I could because we just use this space so much and it packs a punch. You really feel like this space is much, much larger than it is. And I think that is because, of course, they went with very bright colors for the cabinets and things like that. But I think the natural light and just the brightness really, really opens up the space and opens up this part of our home to feel like just very special. It's funny because when I'm cooking in here and when we're in here together, we really feel like we're in a much, much larger house and we're really not. So, of course, around the holidays, because we live in this space, we bring in the cheer. And so I have, of course, our geranium collection here, and I bring that in every year, and I've potted these up so that they'll grow here, and they're blooming so beautifully, and that just makes me feel, of course, that excitement for spring and that love for gardening all year round. And then every year we just sort of display our Christmas cards that our family and friends send us in a different way. And this year I really just decided it would be fun to sort of place these throughout these geraniums so that all of that happiness and all of that love and cheer could be right here in this beautiful bright space. And then, of course, I had to bring in our Christmas tree. I had to bring a Christmas tree into this space. And so last year at the end of the year, we found this Christmas tree. I believe it is 2 feet tall. On sale at Terrain, and I think this Christmas tree was like $12, which is crazy. So it did not have lights on it at the time. I actually already had some copper wired LED lights that I put on this tree. I wrapped every single branch in those and it came out perfect. And then I added our faux fruit to this. The faux fruit is a beaded faux fruit that is actually, these are antiques and collectibles, and they're just so special special and they felt like the perfect thing for this kitchen. And so I'm really happy with this collection, and I'm just so happy with having a Christmas tree in the kitchen is so special, and it just feels like that warmth that you have in the other spaces really just comes right into the kitchen. Obviously, having fruit on this just is fitting because it's the kitchen, but you can do this in a number of different ways. I know my grandma used to have a tree that just was filled with ornaments that were instruments because they were musicians, and I think that you could do a Christmas tree in the kitchen so many different ways. If you have the space, of course, put a full-size Christmas tree or a slim tree, fill it with red or any color you want. I just feel like the kitchen is a space that deserves Christmas and just that enjoyment. And of course, the last thing we have here that's holiday is this beautiful cookie jar. This was something that Tyler wanted years ago, and I feel like it's so special. This is like a Santa cookie jar, and of course, I feel like one day when we have a family, we'll fill this with cookies, and it'll be really special and make memories with them. Of course, for now, we're just filling it with cookies and eating way too many of them during the holiday. So anyway, this kitchen is very special to us, and it's sort of the center of our Christmas. Okay, so the last room I'm going to show you is our dining room, and this is a room that we make so many memories in. Of course, we host all of our family dinners here, and that's very special to us. We just hosted Thanksgiving here a few weeks back. We hosted both sets of parents here on the same day for dinner, and we just made so many special memories in this room. Because our house is on the smaller side, I think that when we're hosting dinner anyway with friends or family, we end up sitting around this table and just laughing and making memory for hours. And I think part of that is because we intentionally got a pretty large table when we moved in. So this table will seat 6. And we sort of did that because it was the largest table that we could fit in this space, but we also knew that if we couldn't sort of pile everybody in the living room on the sofa to watch TV together, then we could pile them in this room and eat great meals and sort of play games and just make great memories. And so this is a space that obviously around the holidays is very special to us, and we make a lot of those memories, but it's also a space that we wanted it to be super bold. And I think that something maybe that we haven't shared with you guys about our interior design is that we spent a lot of years sort of just trying to figure out what our style was and what colors spoke to us. I think that that's something that you really just have to live with your space for a few years to figure out. And Tyler and I, of course, bought this home very early on in our relationship, and we got married after we had already been living here for a few years. And I think that sort of our relationship building over time has allowed us to grow together in our design style. And so when we moved in, all of the walls were white, and we just sort of immediately painted every wall gray. And that gave us that sort of grace period to figure out what colors really spoke to us and what we wanted our design style to be. So of course, in the cocktail lounge, we picked this deep, moody purple sort of brown color. In the living room, we wanted that to be a very warm and inviting space because it was sort of the center of the home. And so we chose a taupe color for the walls and then sort of a darker color for the trim. And then this space was a space that we really felt we could go a little out there and be bold. And I know we had seen this wallpaper years ago in a magazine, and I just fell in love with it. It's really just clouds, but it is so abstract and so beautiful to me. I know they sell it in a few different colorways. I think it comes in a much more vivid black and white. This is sort of the warmer tone, and it has a metallic sheen to it that I just think sort of elevates the dining room in a way that I wanted it to be elevated, and it just works so perfectly. And then of course we chose to do black trim and a black ceiling in this space because we really felt that that would add this moodiness to the wallpaper, but really then also set off the wallpaper. And we're really, really happy with it. So Of course, every Thanksgiving and every Christmas, we do a beautiful tablescape, and we collect, I know probably a lot of people do this, but we collect our Christmas china, and that's something that over time we've decided that we wanted to get a different piece of it every year. And that's something that we look forward to every year, is getting a different piece of this sort of matching set. And then we have our centerpiece here that I think most of the holiday season is really just this easy wreath. It's literally just a wreath and a cake plate that I added these beautiful Christmas tree candles to. And I think it's like, this is a perfect example that holiday decorating can be simple. You don't have to go over the top if you don't want to. And if you do want to, you can do that in different rooms or different ways. It doesn't have to be that every single thing is super tedious or just overly expensive even. And so this is a space that around the holidays is just so special to us. And honestly, around the whole house, you can see here that we have our art here, and I have this beautiful table that I created out of a trunk. So I literally just added hairpin legs to this piece and made this sort of console out of it. And then I have this collection of glass Christmas trees, and we have a collection of elves. And we sort of just place those things around the house and tuck them into little pockets. And I think that holiday decorating is really about sort of collecting the things that you want and the things that are so special to you. And Tyler and I both have things that are special to each of us separately, and then things like the china that we get together every year that we look forward to. And I think that when you're thinking about decorating for Christmas, it doesn't have to be what is a trend, or it doesn't have to be sort of, just what is expected. It really only matters what is special to you. And I think that this house and just sort of gaining our collection and building that collection every year is what's special to us. And we're so happy that we have you guys to show it to, and that you're joining us for this holiday season. So I hope that you've enjoyed this video, and I hope that you have enjoyed this tour of our home and our Christmas decorations. And I'm sure we'll be back in the garden soon, but let us know in the comments if you'd enjoyed this, and if you'd like to spend more time in our home and with interior design projects. That's something that's also special to us. Obviously, gardening is the center of our universe, but we're just very interested in different things. So let us know how you like this video, and obviously be sure that you subscribe to our channel so you'll see more of them. And from our home to yours, we'll see you soon. Are you choking? You're just gonna leave like that?